On this episode, we're changing the heating element inside an electric water heater. So this is Texas. The water heater for my shower is upstairs in the attic. It's just what they do. I also have one downstairs for the kitchen and guest bathroom. So, first, turn the water off to the water heater. If you don't have a valve upstairs or on the water heater, you have to turn it off at the main. You have to prevent water from going in. Second, turn the breaker off for the water heater. There's no switch, so you got to cut the power. This is 240 volts. You really don't want to touch it by accident. So once you turn the power off, you can verify by touching these two top prongs where the power comes into the unit. So this is like your power distribution block. It's going to run power to this heating element and to the heating element down here. And then there's a temperature control, there's a reset button. The bottom one only has temperature control, no reset button. So this wire goes to this one. And I took it off to check for continuity. So I was in the shower and it wasn't hot enough, which means there's a heating element that went out. So if you run continuity on it, this one works. And then this one, no circuit, so it's bad. Now then, once you have the power off, you can take these lines loose. So on this one, it's just a red and a black, but it doesn't really matter. Power comes in from the top, goes to the unit. This line runs through this circuit and runs to the unit. And then your temperature control is down here. These don't go bad very often. These do. The next thing you have to do is drain the water heater. So this is the drain on the bottom of the water heater. It looks like a spigot. It is a spigot. But this thing goes in, and that's what stops the water. This thing goes on top. And just holds it down. So you open and close it. You open and close it with a screwdriver. And then I just took it off because if you look real close, so calcium deposits. If you look over here, it wasn't very long ago that I changed this unit out, but I was lazy and didn't get the calcium out. Open this up. This is draining into my drain pan, and then it's flowing outside. You can hook a hose to it and run it out also. When you open this valve, go into the bathroom and turn the hot water on, and it'll let air flow so to drain out faster. Then you can also pop this relief valve and it'll let the air flow in and drain it faster. It's still going to take a while to drain because the calcium kept plugging up the drain. So then I had to go in with a handy dandy coat hanger through the top like this. And push the calcium back. This thing is going to drip for the duration of this operation, but you got to get the water below here. Otherwise, you're going to spill water all down inside your unit and it'll rust from the inside out. You're going to need a shop vac to suck up this water, and we're going to use the shop vac to get the calcium out. So it's a good idea to buy a replacement valve. These are plastic and they'll break. And if you break it, then the water's going to come gushing out and you're going to flood your whole house. So don't break it. You need a replacement heating element. So there's the straight kind, there's the curved kind. There's some that are really long, there's some that are this size. If you get the really long one, it may not fit. It may be too long. So this is the one I got last time. And then this is 1.5 inches. So you can buy a tool at the store to get this off. But I have an 1.5 inch ratchet or socket. And be prepared for stuff to break. So here's the old heating element. And you can see right here where it broke, and it's covered in calcium. So the reason it went bad so fast is because it's sitting there in basically sand, and it causes it to heat improperly, and then it pops the unit like a big fuse. So we got to get all that out of there, and this is going to take forever. You need a towel because there's going to be spills. Shop vac. So this is the little hose on the shop vac, and you can see it doesn't fit. And if you got any of these, they're not going to fit. So what I have is a hose, and it fits. So the hose goes inside the shop vac, and then we're going to use this, and we're going to go inside and suck all this out. It's going to get loud. That's better. So I don't know where we started, but we're down to about here. One hour and 12 minutes of video. So this is 16 gallon, I think. I don't know. Doesn't matter. But my filter's getting clogged, so I'm gonna go clean this out and then we'll come back. So you can see the residual in the back, but you can see the bottom of the tank now. And there's a dip tube over there. So that's where the water mixes, cold and hot. So we cleaned most of it out, a lot of it out. The other thing we could do is take this off and run the hose up here in the bottom. So I'll show you that. But I don't recommend this part. Because like I said, this is plastic. And it's going to break. So there's our hose bib. And then sometimes you can pop this out, but this one's being a pain. So that's the drip tube. See, dripping. And then you can see, I can't get to that. The hose isn't bending the right way. But we're good. And then if you look down here, there's a hole now. Instead of a blocked passageway. And then since we have a new one, it's a little bit longer. It may not work because it'll get into this. No, it's gonna work. Okay, let me get some anti-drip stuff and we'll be right back. So a wire brush, to clean the schmutz out of the threads. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Standard operation is some plumber's putty or something like that on the end. And of course, when you need it, you don't have it because it's all dried out. But silicone gasket sealer will work. And then we're just going to run this in. And this is tapered. So, you know, careful. You will over torque it and split it. This is the closer. Make sure it's closed. See, open, closed. And then your heating element has a rubber O-ring that mushes up against right here. So we're just going to run this in here. And then the hard part is kind of getting it started because it's kind of, you know, oblong. Now, it doesn't require a lot of torque. Because it's got an O-ring. But that should do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hook the wires up. And then we have to fill this tank up before we can turn it on. So one wire goes, and it doesn't matter which way because it's 220. So you just put the wire in there and then crank it down. And the same with this one. And then if you want to make your water hotter or colder, you turn this little doodad right here. This is insulation for, you know, efficiency. So this one goes in. Hey, whoa, whoa, come on. This one goes in here like this. I'm going to readjust this. 1, 2, 5. So this one's done, this one's done. And then really the only thing we need to do now is check for leaks. We didn't screw with this one, so we'll leave this one open. So this is a little safety doodad, so you don't shock yourself. But you can still come in here and get to the reset button, and you can get to the thermostat control. And this folds up. This folds down. Could have been killed. So this is the pressure release valve, and I was using that for air. So flick this down and it's closed. Now we can turn the water on, and what's going to happen is water's going to flow in, air's going to flow out, the air's going to come out the faucet in the sink. When it runs clear, then the tank is full. No leaks yet, so we'll start soaking the water up in this pan. This pan's galvanized, so it doesn't really rust, but still, you know how water is and metal. The good thing about Texas is it's dry. Whatever's in here will evaporate out and disappear in a couple days. So this thing was about this full of mineral deposits. We cleaned it out to here, so it's going to give us like, 5 more gallons of hot water when we're taking a shower. So breaker's on. You can hear both of them are running, heating the water up. So that's it. It's about an hour and 30 minutes of video time. But I started draining this like an hour before. It took a while to drain because of all of the calcium buildup. So draining it takes a while. And then I need to write my dates down. But I have a video now, so I'll be able to go back. So there's all the stuff that came out of the shop vac. So this is a low spot in the driveway, and this will dry, and then this will just be like, mineral deposit base. What's that? That's a piece of old heating element. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a good day.